So here's the drill on the class. It's very basic, goes right on through using the modules. So if you start at the top and you work your way all the way to the bottom, then you have completed the class. Simple as that. But let's go ahead and let's go through a couple things. Now, did you guys each watch the introduction video that I sent via email?
Yes.
Okay. So that video is right here in case you need. It does give you an idea of how the class is going to work. Here is the syllabus. And so that has been updated. Additionally, if we go through grades specifically, every week there's basically what amounts to 60 points. 10 points for being part of the discussion, 10 points for the Edpuzzle, which is instructional video with questions scattered throughout the instructional video, and then 10 points for the online practice in Delta Math, with 30 points in assessment points or test points. So discussion, instruction, practice, test. Same basic principles as every class you've ever taken. The only difference is maybe the discussion class. Now, the other thing about it is a lot of our units will last for 2 weeks. So in essence, you will get 20 points for discussion, 20 points for Edpuzzle, 20 points for practice, 60 points for a test. There it is. Okay. So that's how the grade gets put together, is right there. And I usually update those grades every Friday or end of every week. So that's how you'll know where you're at. So Delta Math, have either of you used Delta Math in the past?
No, I have not.
Okay. It's pretty straightforward. Delta Math itself is an online practice program. My teacher code is right here. And make sure when you sign up with the Math 098 Spring 21. I had some people last semester sign up for my high school algebra class. So that was different. All right, so let's go to Delta Math. Actually, we'll wait on that real quickly. And then let's go to Edpuzzle. When you get to Edpuzzle, have either of you used Edpuzzle previously?
I have not.
Okay, very simple, very straightforward. There's a little video to show you how to get on. And the code for your class is BINGO. That's randomly generated. Thankfully, I didn't have to regenerate it. Canvas discussions, here's how those work. They're right there, so just follow the link. And if you're not familiar with Zoom, which at this point, you guys probably are, just in case. Additionally, if we have to turn in handwritten work, here's how you do it from your Android device, from your Apple device, from your tablet, from your computer, from all the different ways you might have to do it. Here's the reality, though. We only turned in, I think, like one handwritten thing last semester. It was really not a deal. Mainly because we're in an online class. We might as well do the stuff online, let the online do the work. Finally, that brings us to the end of the starter module. So go through those a little bit more in detail if you would. I do have a not required portion here that has some fractions and some solving, mainly because I have some folks that haven't been in a math class in a long time. And let's be honest, sometimes we need refreshers. So there it is. So in a general week, here's what it looks like. Getting started Zoom. So we will have another Zoom on Wednesday at 5 p.m. I believe that's the scheduled time. Now, it is a online live course, which means I can require your attendance on Wednesday nights. However, I also understand people work, people have families, people have all sorts of stuff going on. So once we get started and everybody is kind of on the roll, some of those things I will still log in, be there for help or do different things, but the attendance may become somewhat more optional, and I'll let you know as we go via email. Does that make sense?
Yes.
The reason I have it required is because you either require every week or you require none of it. And with the 2 semesters that I've done of online for this class, it really has become apparent that I have to set some mandatory check-in points or some students have trouble. So that's what the mandatory check-in points are. But the nice thing is, like the discussion threads, you can do those literally anytime during that week. And you'll notice I have dates already set up for those. Okay. And questions are already there. So you just go on at that time, put your discussion piece in and move on with life and respond as you see. So we have the Zoom recording. I'll put that there. That brings us to the actual slide deck. Everything in this class is run by the slide deck. Okay. Now, Brooke, how long ago since you were with me?
Oh my God. Well, almost 8 years since.
Got it. Okay. Well before I went to this method, because some of my previous students, whether you've had me in college or whether you've had me in high school, are familiar with the method now. But just in case, if you want, not if you want, before starting the slide, you must, because last semester I had people going, I don't understand. Well, fine. I'll make you go through the directions. So to give you an idea, this is what Edpuzzle is. It's nothing more than a video. And as that video rolls along, these little dots are questions, and you answer the questions and it records your answers to the questions. So it tracks your time, it tracks how much you watched, it tracks how much you rewound, and it records all your answers and gives you a grade for it. That's it. So video with questions and interaction, Edpuzzle. If you don't like your score on any Edpuzzle, I'll reset it and you can redo it. So if you want 100% on Edpuzzles, you can get that. You just have to say, hey, Mr. Moore, can you reset and tell me the name? And I reset it. You can redo the Edpuzzle for 100% credit if you care. All right. So that's how Edpuzzle works. But everything is in the slideshow. So for each module, for each grouping, for each chapter or unit, it's a slideshow. And you start the slideshow. You will watch whatever Edpuzzle. So in this case, functions and graphs, blah, blah, blah. There's the questions, just like we talked about. There are the notes. The notes are provided for you. And those are the notes right out of the video that you just watched. Okay. And then you will do a delta math. So let's go to delta math and see what that looks like. Now, you'll notice the delta math says evaluate functions level 2 because we're in functions and relations. So all I have to do is, oh, I'm in the wrong me class. Spring 20, there you go, because there shouldn't be anything past due. So functions and graphs, spring 21, evaluate functions level 2. It matches exactly what it says right here. Okay, so then when you're done with that one, you say, determine if a set of points is a function. Determine if a set of points is a function. There it is. It's right there. Okay. And so you will start and you say, oh, I can do this problem. The answer is 6. Sure it is. And you say, are you sure? Yes, I am. Oh, I'm wrong. And it gives you the answer. So whether you're correct or whether you're incorrect, it will give you the full worked out solution. Okay. So that you know, did I get it right or not? If I didn't, how do I do it? And next problem, if I say, I have no idea, I don't even know where to start, show example. Oh, nice. There it is. Show example, and it will give you an example of what you're supposed to do in a similar problem. Go back to the problem and do it. If you don't like that, fine. Watch a video, and it'll literally do it for you. Okay? And it'll walk you through it there. So I find that adult learners do like this because if you get stuck, there shouldn't be any frustration. You have my video, my notes, his video. And if you get it wrong, it doesn't matter because you can do it over and over and over again, an infinite number of times until you get the required number correct. Okay, so it doesn't matter how many you get wrong. You can even give up. I give up. It doesn't matter how many you get wrong. You just have to get to the 4. Okay, or the 3 or the 5 or however many it tells you to get to. So, and each one of these is matched up exactly with the instruction. Okay, so then you simply go through the slideshow, instruction, practice, Next slide, instruction, practice. Next slide, oh, just some practice. Then the next slide, instruction, practice, so on and so forth, until you get to the end of the section and you take the assessment. The only difference is your assessments are on Delta Math, but unlike practice where you can do it as many times as you want and it has the examples and it has the videos and it has all that stuff, the assessment you can only do each problem once and there are no helps for the assessment. That's the only difference. Okay, so that is 10 points for the Edpuzzle, 10 points for the practice, 10 points for the discussion, 30 points for the test. That's a grade. Okay, and when you're done with that topic or slideshow, you move on to the next. Practice, test, practice, test, practice, test, all the way through, and that's how the process works. So, any questions at this point?
I don't have any.
How long should one of those slideshows take us? Is that one full?
I usually give 2 weeks per slideshow.
Okay.
On the factoring of polynomials and logarithms, I think I give 3 weeks each because they're a little tougher topic. So basically, it kind of gets set up that if you do 1 or 2 slides a day, you're in good shape. Or if you're a person that sits down on a Friday or a Sunday afternoon and knocks out quite a few, great. Again, that's the joy of the online. You can do it at your own pace. I will be spending my Wednesdays working on whatever Wednesday topic happens to be scheduled there. So if you're ahead, I will always take your questions. If you're behind, again, I'll always take your questions, but I'm going to be focused on whatever's supposed to be for that week. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Calculators, by the way, just a $15, $12 TI-30, something with a square root and a exponent button. Nothing fancy. Book, it's online. If you look in the syllabus, the link's there. It's an online book. It's free. You can buy a paper copy like for $30. I'm not even going to reference it probably. Okay. Basically everything you need is in the notes, in the instruction, in the Delta Math, all the way through. That's one of the other reasons the assessment is Delta Math, so that it literally looks exactly like the practice. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Okay.